but I didn't need it now. I didn't need it this morning.
Denny Schaefer. He's an idiot.
That's my jam right there. Look at Chad. Like man, Chad. First guy on.
Where's the circling?
It already started and ended.
Oh, it did?
Yep. You missed it.
Denny Schaefer. He's an idiot.
Oops, I forgot. I got to turn it off after because if not, it will keep going forever. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to DennyRadio Podcast with Sharon Denman. It is, what is this? Episode 7, I believe. 6 or 7. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And we have another new sponsor. Yay. Woo, woo. Hold on. I can give you I can give you a little golf clap for that.
Okay. Hang on. I have to say, I love working with the small area businesses because I was a small area business, and sometimes you don't have the budgets of a big area business. And so we're happy to help them out with some promotion, and they're helping us out. So yeah, there you go.
It's beautiful.
So let me just explain this real quick. Remember when we lived in Louisiana and we worked with Ginny,
Yes.
an amazing Louisiana
Ginny
realtor?
Baptist.
Saxton, yes. Remember we said we feel like we're her only client, even though we knew we weren't? This is how I feel about our sponsors today, Kim and Patty. So with that being said, let's hear from them.
Hi, I'm Kim Zaracki.
And I'm Patty Henry.
Together, we're Zen
Partners with Key Realty.
Are you looking to buy or sell a home in Michigan or Ohio?
Then we have you covered. With over 30 years of combined experience in the real estate market.
Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seller or an experienced home buyer or seller,
We will offer a personalized approach to every transaction. That's how we do real estate.
let's make your next move stress-free and exciting.
So give us a call and we'll
What happened? It cut off.
It's not done yet. Is it done?
It stopped. I don't know why that did that.
It's still going though.
I know, but
take you.
Oh my gosh. Is it our connection?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me try it again.
Okay.
Oh, wait. It's
Buffering.
Together,
we're
we're Zen Partners with Key Realty.
Take two.
Are you looking to buy or sell a home in Michigan or Ohio?
Then we have you covered. With over 30 years of combined experience in the real estate market.
Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seller or an experienced home buyer or seller,
We will offer a personalized approach to every transaction. That's how we do real estate.
let's make your next move stress-free and exciting.
So give us a call.
don't know why,
Oh
but
my
it's
gosh.
stopping.
It's adorable.
It is adorable.
Well, maybe we can replay this in their new one next week.
I don't know why that's doing that, but
But their information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen and will continue throughout the podcast.
it could be our internet. I don't know.
So let me just say this about these two
Fantastic
beautiful
ladies.
women. They're small in stature, but they have big personalities. They are humble. They truly have a passion to help people with their home. They're not in it for the money. And they will do whatever it takes to get you the house that you want because they know they work for you, not the other way around. And I've worked with them both professionally and personally, and they're the real deal. They're the real deal. So anyway, thank you, Kim and Patty of Zen Partners. You know what? Here's your marketing line, ladies. Leave the stress to Zen.
There it is. Look at that. Freebie. We gave you that for nothing. All right, Danny and Chad, and that's it on there. They said one of the morning shows that you would tell us the truth about why you left the position as the morning secretive about just like Scott said. Can you tell us the real the morning show, Danny? That would be no. But there will be a time, but it ain't today. Thank you. Have a nice day. All right, now this is kind of cool because we have the Zen Key Realty Zen Partners as our sponsor on Wednesdays. And as it came out today in the Blade, Toledo ranked number 3 out of 20 of the most in-demand housing markets, offering a lower cost of living in or near economic hotspots like, downtown Toledo. The Wall Street Journal and Realtor.com Winter 2025 report reviewed data of the largest 200 metro areas in the U.S. The report analyzed key housing market data, economic vitality, lifestyle metrics to determine emerging housing markets that offer a huge quality of life and are expected to see future home price appreciation. According to the report, Ohio, Canton, Massillon area is number 1, Rockford, Illinois is number 2, and Toledo, OHIO, is number 3, which is very, very impressive. So I found that interesting that was a top story in the Blade today, when we have a new sponsor and it's realtors.
And they sell real estate in Michigan and Ohio.
Exactly. So, they do it up. Yeah. So call them, people, support our little, our sponsors because they're awesome.
And let me just say this.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to move away and come back to appreciate what you had. And I'm speaking from personal experience because we were gone almost a decade from Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
And when you move away, whether it's to smaller communities or much larger cities like we did, you really kind of grow to appreciate what you had. And Toledo is a very affordable and economical place to live. I feel a lot of the negativity comes from the people that maybe have never left here. Agree or disagree? Totally
agreed. When I got here in 93 for my second run through, that was the thing that I, never got my head around of how many people talk so negative about Toledo. They just have like this bad self-image about growing up here. And people like me that didn't grow up here and moved here 3 different times, I have nothing but awesome things to say about Toledo. I mean, it breaks my heart that so many people have some sad self-image about living here. I don't know where it's from or how it is. I'm sure there's been research and people probably know, but whatever. That's not what we're talking about today.
No, but we have one of the largest Metro Park systems, Toledo Zoo, Toledo Museum of Art. They're in the top 10 country institutions in the zoo and museum. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean we could sit here.
Yeah.
We could sit here all day and talk about it, but it doesn't matter. It can't get past how some people were raised, and they were raised with a bad negative attitude about Toledo. And at some point that'll be gone, because I think the generation now, like our kids, they love Toledo. The younger kids, they didn't see the struggles of downtown. They know nothing but Fifth Third Field and the Huntington Center and now, concerts coming and
now the bar scene.
Yeah.
Dance
Oh yeah.
place, because downtown is being revitalized.
I think people are growing out of that as my generation dies off. Anyway. All right. Now, I just, before we get into the meat of the picture and you posted, I just wanted to give you an update on the ratings on the Grammys, which we talked about on Monday in length. It dipped a little from last year, despite, they say, the nail-biting tension of whether Beyonce would win Album of the Year and the surprise appearance by The Weeknd. Of course, nobody knew that was coming.
Surprise appearance by her underwires.
The broadcast was seen by
broadcast?
Broadcast, not bra. The 50, get your mind out of the gutter, Sharon. That's my job.
It's not the gutter. I just said underwires. That's why I said.
And then you said bra. Did you say broadcast?
I know. Underwires are bras. If you were a woman, you'd know this.
You're talking about
Shout
underwear.
Shout out to all my sisters out there.
15.4 million viewers, according to Nielsen. That represents a decline. Let's see, 16.9 million last year. So a million and a half didn't watch it. Again, I thought it was pretty entertaining, but check out the last podcast if you care. And I just saw this story today. Before we give advice to the picture, hold on. I want to make sure you see my cool shirt that my wife got me for Christmas. Isn't that cool? 4-0 Michigan.
Well, they had to plant the flag one, but
And then the O is
Yeah.
shaped like the state of Ohio.
they had
Anyway.
they had to plant the flag one, but I didn't want you to get in fights or something if you wore it out or
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
put
not
in
gonna
jail
happen.
as a felon.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. Death by selfie more likely than being killed by a shark.
What?
Death by selfie is
Meaning-
now more likely. You're
You
going to
mean-
die by taking a selfie more than you would by dying by being attacked by a shark.
Because people are doing stupid stuff with their selfies.
Risky selfies
Oh,
claim
sorry,
more
risky.
lives than shark attacks. Many go for the ultimate selfie, usually perched at the edge of a cliff or somewhere else just as dangerous. Wikipedia has been keeping track for a while now on these death by selfies. There has been 480 fatalities since they started keeping, since selfies became a thing, which has been over the last 10 years, 15 years when we got cameras on our phones. So 480 fatalities up to the end of last year. The two biggest causes of death by selfie are falls and drowning. I would think it would be just drown. What?
Falls, I can see.
I mean, falls, I would see that'd be number one, but drowning? You're drowning while you're taking a selfie? I don't know. Anyway,
drowning in a pool?
it just says
On a
drowning.
boat? Falling off a boat? What?
Don't know. All right. And before we put up the picture and say, what would you say to this picture if you could? Basically, today's discussion for everybody. Hey, Julian. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Lara. That are all popped on. This is a discussion of basically what advice would you give yourself looking back on a picture? What would you say? Before I do that, I just want to call out Need a Hug Donna. I think that's who it was who said a couple of negative things about the podcast and my lovely bride. You know, this may not be your thing. So you may just want to zip it and just move on. Just, you know what? Need a hug, Donna. We don't need more negativity in the world, and we certainly don't need them in the comments. I was attempted to just bounce you, and just delete you, but I thought, no, I'm gonna play your silly game because I know that she just wants to be acknowledged. Oh, he responded. If you think our podcast is boring, don't watch or listen to it. If you have comments about my wife and her part in it, she doesn't care, and neither do I. You look, I'm not going to go down your road. We just don't want negativity. There you go. There's enough negativity in the world. If you don't believe me, just look at Twitter/X or turn on cable news.
Well, the other part of that too is a podcast is completely different than a radio show because there's lots of moving parts on a radio show. You're in and out of commercials. You're in and out of music,
right?
And a podcast is normally not normally, but sometimes just one person in front of a camera monologuing and talking about whatever their topic is of the day. So it is a completely different feel, It's a totally different vibe, and not everybody can pull it off. But this show, this podcast, honestly, I'm blown away by how many people are peeping these out. We just started it as a whim and having fun, and boom. It's actually turning into something where we have paid sponsors.
Oh, it hasn't even been 2 weeks.
And we have another one on Friday. So we'll have our third of the week. And then we have sponsors basically for the entire month of February.
And the thing with the podcast is even though we're live now at noon and a lot of people have trouble because they're at work, understandable, is you can listen to it later and you don't even have to watch it. You can actually pull it up through your car stereo and just listen to it. One of the followers, he listens to it at night when he's working.
Yeah. I like it. If you listen to it on iFart, it's just audio. But if you get it on Spotify, I think it's video and audio. Whatever. Or you can just play it off DennyRadio off Facebook, and you don't need to see us unless you want to, fantasize.
No, but I actually last year when I was out of town, a very dear friend of ours passed away, not a dear friend, but someone we knew and loved. And his funeral was streamed. And I'm driving down the interstate listening to the live stream of his funeral because we couldn't be here in person.
I'd like you to stream mine.
Your funeral?
Yeah. Because a lot of people would be celebrating. He's finally gone. He's finally done. We're finally rid of that man. Okay.
That would just be Olivia and Josh.
No, I think our kids love me. I think it'd be more like you. All right. You, boom. There you are. There we are. There's a picture of us at WLW Studios, 700 WLW Cincinnati.
What year?
J-Core Communications, one of the flagship stations back in the day. And it was probably 97 because we started dating in 96. So that was September of 96. I don't think it's either the tail end of 96.
We are having issues because
No, it's the music.
play.
The music's playing and then it's not playing. I don't know what's going on.
So it's just not Kim and Patty. Sorry, it's us two.
Anyway, so it's either late 96 or early 1997. I used to go down to Cincinnati and fill in, and I'm going to mute that just because it's annoying. So this is the picture Sharon put up, and your question is?
My question is what? I have a question?
The question from this picture.
Oh, you mean it?
Maybe Donna's right. The podcast title.
I'm sorry.
If you could speak advice to this person now.
I'm sorry.
Back then. Go ahead.
Maybe I tuned you out. I don't know. Well, and here's the other thing though. So we're going to talk about it, but I highly encourage anyone watching and listening now, or even if they rewatch it when they can, pop in the comment like what you would tell the younger version of yourself, you know, if you're in the last quarter of your life or whatever, you know. Wisdom is wasted on the old. Is that what my dad used to say or something like that?
I don't know.
Wisdom is
wasted on the young. I don't know.
No, something. It was something like that.
So first off, let me just look at this picture here. I'm going at a mean 190 to 195. You are just a tiny little thing with an awesome haircut. And we were getting things done. I think we were a power couple in Toledo in the 90s and didn't realize it.
Really?
I think so.
Are those
are jean shorts.
Those are
still have that.
Pleated pocket jean shorts.
Mine?
And Jim Parker said, don't ever tuck a jersey in. That was his advice that he would be giving to you.
Seriously? Hey, Trisha Wendell's Huth is on. Hey, what's up, Trish? Hello, Sharon and Denny. Jeff Lamb's watching. Yes, Jeff, it was great seeing you at karaoke at Danny's on Monday night. Jeff's out there on Mondays the whole month. It's awesome. Yeah, well, you know, back then that was a style. And knowing Jim Parker's.
Are you sure?
First off, you're dating me. And if I'm tucked in, are you going to allow me to be tucked in if it's not okay? You would have said to me, knowing you the way I know you, you would have said, you don't need to tuck that in. No one tucks their shirts in.
I don't think back then I told you to do anything.
Okay. She is hallucinating because this woman has had an opinion about everything and anything since day one when I met her.
Call me Jack. Okay.
So for you to allow me to tuck it in tells me that it must have been okay. You're wearing a turtleneck sweater. It's tucked in. Turtleneck sweater.
New fashion.
Tucked in.
Yeah.
So I got my Tigers jersey. It's not real. Yeah, it's a jersey. And it's tucked in. Obviously, anyway, we're going down the wrong path.
We are already 20 minutes in.
Whatever. Are we? No, we're not. Oh my gosh, we are. Wow, this just flies. All right. So what advice would you give to this woman, Sharon? Let's start with you.
I would say laugh at yourself, which I feel I do. Life is too short. Don't take yourself too seriously.
So back then you did?
I don't know. Honestly, that was so many years ago. I don't even remember. But I would say I would look at that girl now and say, laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't beat yourself up. life's too short, laugh. And I really feel that doesn't really happen anymore. But so that's one piece of advice I would give her in relationships, in parenting, in life in general. Go, your turn.
For me, I think my, being in radio and it's all based on ratings and people liking you. I think for me, it would be similar. It would be like, don't take it so seriously where it consumes you of, my whole identity at that time was wrapped up in radio. It was who I was, is who I thought I was. It was everything. And if radio wasn't going well, ratings dipped or whatever. Of course, back then the ratings were so friggin' amazing. But if they dipped a little bit, I would beat myself up. I would say, what's wrong with the show? Why don't people like me? Whatever. I would just be so hard on myself. So I would say just, I guess maybe that conversation will come up at another time. Why was my identity wrapped up in, Denny Schaefer, the radio guy, and not in who God says I am? It would basically be just don't beat yourself up, over the silliness that you can't really control.
Right.
So that would be one of the first things.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Don't think you can save anyone.
Okay. All right. I saw the way you looked at me.
Anyone.
She
now,
gave me
listen,
hold on.
If you're going to be beating me up on my own advice, you can't do that.
No, I'm not. You gave me the side eye. You can't save anyone. So that begs the question, doesn't it, everybody watching? Were you saving me back then?
Well, I was trying to help you not feel bad about yourself if like the show because you probably beat yourself up more than anyone I know. And I'm an empath, so I would always want to try to help you or save you or whatever. And if I can help anyone out there, don't go in a relationship thinking you can do that.
Okay,
because
that's
you
good.
Can't.
So you were trying to save me or help me, basically, because you're an empathetic person and human being. It's not that. Because I don't think you have that. I don't think you have that personality of, oh, she's got to save this one. You got to, unless it comes to cats.
Okay. What's your advice? Why are you like?
Because I'm trying to understand what you're saying there, and I'm actually backing up what you said. You're not one of those kind of people that thinks you got to save the world and save every human. You just
help people better themselves or change or for the better. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't, like I would say to my old self, I would say it to Olivia and Josh or any young person, don't go into a relationship thinking you are going to change the other person because it never works. And you will wear yourself out. You're not their Holy Spirit. If you're a spiritual person, you just cannot change that other person. Your turn, go, and do not piggyback on that because that's what you did the last. Did you do your homework for this?
Of course I did my homework for this.
Where's your notes?
I got a whole page of notes right here that you can't see.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
just checking.
Boy, that's a hard one to just let go, but I will.
Well, don't you agree though? You cannot change the other person.
Oh, I gave up trying to change you about year 5 of 20, almost 25 years of marriage.
That was just a yes or no
at
question.
about year 5.
That was just a yes or no question.
Well, you go into it stupid. You think you can. You think, oh, it's going to be great now. We're going to complete each other, and she'll see my way is the right way or whatever, and she'll come around or whatever. And that never happens. It just never happens. It's God's cruel little joke. Anyhow, for me, looking back at that picture is I wish I could have said to myself, and I wish I was on the spiritual journey that I'm on now, because back then I wasn't even a Christian. I mean, I went to church, but I just played church. I didn't really have a personal relationship with God. And so that left me wide open to all kind of shenanigans from the other team. So I wish I could say to that person, dude, don't listen to the lies. Okay. Stop overthinking it. Don't play out these scenarios in your mind of all these horrible things that could go wrong. Don't listen to the lies. Stay in the moment, stay in the present, trust God, and he's got your back. That'd be the advice that I would give that handsome lad wearing that Tigers jersey tucked in very fashionably. There you go.
Okay.
And you want to go deeper into that?
No, but I mean, I prayed consistently over both Olivia and Josh, their entire upbringing. Well, about asking God to let them know where their value and their worth come from. Because I lived my first 40 years out of taking my value and worth from what people said to me or about me. And a lot of times it just made me feel bad about myself. And I was living out of that. And I didn't know until we went down to Atlanta and I had a mentor pouring into me and we got to the bottom of it. And I had no idea. And that was like a light bulb, life-changing moment for me. And so, again, I guess I would, tell that young girl before she got married and stuff and give her that advice of, do some spiritual seeking and find out where your value and your worth come from, because things are futile. I mean, I watched 3 close people to me in the last few hours of their earthly life transition, pass on, and the saying is true, you don't take anything with you. And what you leave behind is your legacy and how you lived your life, right?
That's it. Totally agree. By the way, Jeff Lamb says the phrase that maybe you were thinking of was youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
you. Mark Burns, man, you rock, man. I used to listen to you back on 92.5. Longevity counts for something, my friend. Keep it up. Thank you. Nurse Terry is listening. Hello, Nurse Terry.
All right. Is anyone
Kathy Cromwell.
giving their little wisdom?
Love the haircut back then. I love you guys. I don't see anybody giving any advice.
Any nuggets?
Any nuggets that you would give yourself if you look back, or to us as you look back on those pictures. All right. I think another one, and I'm just going to go there. I wish I wouldn't have avoided God for so many years because I thought I had things figured out. I thought I was doing pretty good. I thought me and God were in a pretty good place. Me and Jesus hanging out. No, I wasn't. It's a daily moment by moment kind of thing. And back then I just lived for the fun and whatever pleased me. I just, I was building Denny's kingdom. I didn't give a rip about God's. And I was just enjoying life to the fullest. And it got me in all kind of trouble and heartache. Sure, there were some good, tremendous highs, but I truly believe that if I went and got saved in 1999, you and I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I don't think you and I would have gotten married. But we did. And, that has been a slight miracle in itself. Here's the deal. It was 99. And I gave this on the last day of the show. Was I just changed it to that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, thank you. It was 99 and I was making buku money and, the show was at its peak and, I couldn't go anywhere without people throwing themselves at me or buying me stuff or whatever. And, I had every other year I'd get a brand new SUV. I had a motorcycle. I had a 1970, 72 Corvette? 72 Corvette. I mean, I had everything materially. And I was coming back from the final floor and I'm begging God on the plane to take it down because I was so empty and miserable inside because I thought all that crap, material stuff filled me up. So I would tell that dude, hey, the whatever, the stuff of the world and all the junk is never going to make you happy. It might be for, 10 minutes, but we were created for a relationship with God. And until you want to approach that, until you want to, take that journey, nothing is going to make you happy. Nothing. And I wish I would have taken the journey. I was 40 when I finally accepted God. I wish I would have, and I told the kids this, I wish I was younger. I wish I would have pursued a relationship with God at a much younger age. And that's other advice I would give that hot looking dude in the shorts back in the day. All right, there you go. My sermon's over. Have a nice day. Go ahead.
That maybe rotating between the three so that they all three get played. Sorry, just producing the boring podcast.
Or maybe you can.
I know. I wish I could like remote control it from over here, but because
you're not very controlling and trying to change and fix people.
Here's one I would tell the young girl.
Yeah.
Forgive your husband when your life changes and his not so much when your first child is born. And I do remember going through that because, man, my life came to a screeching halt with that baby, the first one. And of course, we were late in life having kids anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, you go through the body change, the hormonal change, the emotional change, the physical change. And all of a sudden, you don't just pick up and go like you're used to. And yet you were. And I remember that was a hard thing for me to work through. So any young moms out there who know what I'm talking about, like it's super important to work through that and, forgive.
I had no idea. That you had to forgive me about that. I don't know why you would think
I'm still working on it.
I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why you think that that my life didn't change. I remember more than once when I took the baby into work with me. I mean, I still had to work. I still had to do a job. We had bills to pay. I mean, we weren't just going to live on, good looks. I had to work. So what was my option other than I think I took a week off when Olivia was born.
It was just, being at work, coming home, napping, because that was when you were doing the morning shift. And then you would go golf and then come home and, pre-show. And it was just a lot of baby. But yes, when Josh was born, and there were two because they were only 19 months apart and different, whatever, sleep pattern, whatever. You started taking Josh in at 3:30 in the morning. And I will be forever grateful for that. So, yeah.
Well, thank gosh you've forgiven me. All right. Chad says, I'd tell my younger self to stop and enjoy the time you're in. The past is the past. And let's see, the past is the past, which brought you here. And the future is what it'll be. Just enjoy where you are. Yeah. Great stuff, Chad. Live in the present, in the moment. Stay in, your current reality right now where you are. I like that.
Well, and that for parenting too. Enjoy every single phase of parenting because it goes by so quickly. And, so people are like, oh, I can't wait for my kids to be older and, bigger kids, bigger problems. So pick your druthers.
Listen, I loved every phase of them growing up, but I really like this one. I really do.
The empty nesting.
I like being an empty nester. By the way, Kristen says she would say to herself, others' opinion holds zero weight. Yeah, the people, what they think about you. Anyway, yeah, I love being an empty nester. I do. I mean, I obviously, we adore our children, but, you do everything that you can and you try to give them the best foundation and upbringing. And then at some point you just got to say, all right, baby bird, get your butt out of the nest and get after it. And I like where our kids are headed. And now it's on them. I mean, we did everything we could and I'm not going to rescue them. I'm not going to save them. I'm going to just love them and listen to them and have fun with them and an occasional cocktail. There you go. Anything else you want to mention about empty nesting?
No, it's your turn though.
This is the last thing that I wrote down because it was the greatest advice that I'd ever gotten. And we had been married for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And we had moved to Atlanta and I wasn't there, but I was still in the hotel. So it was like a week that I was there. And I called to talk to you, and you were having a bad day with the kids or whatever. And you told me you weren't moving. You okay? You okay if I tell this story?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So she says, yeah, guess what? Me and the kids aren't moving to Atlanta. Good luck to you, basically is what she said. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Well, this was my whole, I never knew anywhere different. I was here my whole life, 39 years. Okay.
So you decided after me being gone a week and you had the 2 kids that you were not going to move to Atlanta. So, and after we had a very challenging conversation on the phone. Anyway, I picked up the phone and I called the guy that I know you look up to more than anybody. And that would be your dad, Jack. So I call him and I was on the phone with him for probably 20 minutes where I talked for 18 minutes telling my story of how wrong his daughter was. Now, granted, I'd never done this before. I mean, I had a really good relationship with him. Him and I, we talked about a lot of stuff, okay? But I felt like I could go to him, and I felt like if there's anybody who is going to be able to get through to Sharon, it would be him. So that's why I called him. And we talked, and I laid out all the reasons why that, she needs to be in Atlanta and, forget what she just told me on the phone. Anyway, I went on and on and on, and finally I stopped and he didn't say anything. I said, well, what do you think I should do? Do you have any advice? And he goes, Denny, I got some advice. Here it is. This too shall pass. And this too shall pass. And I said, wait a minute, I just went on for over 15 minutes and this is what you got? This too shall pass? Yep. He said, anything else? If not, I'm getting back to watching, I don't know what he's watching, O'Reilly or somebody on Fox. I don't know what he was watching, but
golf probably.
Anyway, and that was it. And I'm like, okay, that was no help. Because I expected him to call you and say, what the hell are you doing? Like he had done to me before. Nope, this too shall pass. And that advice has worked so well because it did pass. And God brought you down there and he made you feel like Atlanta's your home. And
after 8 months, because there was a time where I wasn't going to go back to Atlanta again. So.
Yeah, well, and now how many times have we talked about maybe moving back to Atlanta?
Now we can't afford it. Sorry, it's not in the top 200 affordable.
Like Toledo is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my last one. I would say to that dude, that hot dude wearing the Tigers jersey, dude, when you have situations in life, when you think your life is over or, how are you going to deal with it or whatever, this too shall pass. There you go.
Okay.
Which one would you like now? Which ticker?
Do Kim's because
I don't think I did.
No,
I don't think
you did Patty's.
I did, but I did Kim for the longest, and then I switched to Patty's.
All right. Well, that hurt. You just got to be on it. So, all right. So here's advice from someone. Debbie wants us to move back to Atlanta. We'll have to move in with you, Debbie, because we won't be able to afford Atlanta now. Especially seeing our house has doubled in asking price now that it's relisted from when we sold it. But anyways, okay, so here's advice from someone, and I think it's directed towards you.
Okay.
When your daughter tells you she's going to be 20 minutes late on her senior homecoming and shows up 20 minutes late, not high or drunk, Don't ruin her senior homecoming and ground her for 20 days. That's from an Olivia.
Okay, that's not our Olivia. Is it Olivia Grace Schaefer?
This person's giving advice to you. So basically,
Okay,
saying,
first off, that's past.
when you have a daughter,
I had a daughter. And
she's telling the young guy. When you have a daughter,
okay,
and
apparently
and she's 20 minutes late from her homecoming senior.
Apparently,
dance.
Apparently I did that. Sounds to me. And by the way, isn't she teaching school right now?
Yeah, she is. This is a text. She also said.
Oh, it's a text.
She also said, "Don't be an ass.
Don't be
when
an
you're
ass."
Dad.
Oh.
I tried to get Josh to play too, but he won't answer his text.
Of course not.
Anyway.
I know. I'm supposed to be going to the Michigan game tonight. They're playing Oregon. And I want to see if Josh wants to go with me, and he hasn't responded. I'm like, dude, I got tickets. Come on.
Well,
me and Ricky Claire from Fan Club Card Rick's got tickets. Anyway, I don't remember doing that. I just remember my Uncle Buck thing with her. But I think that might be a better discussion when we can have Olivia part of the podcast one day. Have her pop on and tell some stories.
And I'm sure Josh has some too. Advice he'd like to give that young man when he was going to get married and have children. Go easy on.
I did go easy on. Listen, I
laugh.
went easier on both those kids than my parents went easy on me. So I guess that's a little bit of a, I don't know what it is.
So
anyway, are we done with this? Can we do the video?
My advice to that young girl, pull that picture back up.
Okay.
My advice to her would be make sure your husband takes you on a trip to Hawaii.
Okay. That's going to happen. I just don't know when. It's going to happen. I don't know when.
We could do a podcast from there.
Well, if the podcast becomes crazy successful and, say we start making some big money off it, we're already, it's a good start. Yeah. Let's just say. I mean, that's part of my plan. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to see it. I know you do.
We could take followers. We could take, go do a show live, like
there
American Idol.
That's the beauty of a podcast. You can do it from anywhere as long as you have internet. So there you go.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's it on that. Now we have a video.
What about empty nesting? Real quick. I guess...
You told me that I was going to have a really hard time with it, and you were wrong.
Well, here's one thing I remember from our amazing church in Atlanta was a message the family pastor actually gave was the hardest transition for anybody in life, and this was back in early 2000s, was transitioning from parent to friend with your children. Because a lot of people want to continue to parent when their kids are grown and the kids don't necessarily want the parents' advice. Or sometimes parents are trying to be the kids' friends when they should be the parent at the proper time.
Yep.
And I will never, ever forget, because our kids were still 3 and 5, 4 and 6 years old at that time. But man, that just struck such a chord with me. And I've just never forgotten it. So anyway.
I love being an empty nester. I love it. I love when our kids are home or we're with them, but I just love it's you and me and the cats. So
I mean, yeah, because schedules kind of thrown out, routine. The one day we had dinner at 3:00 in the afternoon. Olivia's like, "You're 90," or we'll go to a restaurant at 4 and just
we're hungry.
Yeah. So I love all that. I love just housekeeping and all of that.
Yeah. About a week and a half ago, though, we actually had dinner reservations for 6 p.m. We are crazy people. Anyway. All right. Can I play the video and then we'll talk a little bit about Friday?
This is
okay. Sharon found this.
Hopefully I did not already send it to you a while ago.
I don't remember seeing this. All right.
It's still funny though.
Here we go.
It's a
this
news,
is Sharon's funny reaction
news outfit,
video towards me. I don't believe I've seen it. Here we go.
A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges. But I can tell you right now, you asked the producer for me to read that, didn't you? To Ethan now, please.
No.
I can do it. Look at him. He just can't stop laughing.
We're going to have to go to a commercial.
No, we're going to get it. We're going to get it.
I'm going to play it again.
All right. We can do this.
That's funny. All right. So I don't know if you can hear the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me just back it up.
A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges. But I can tell you right now, you asked the producer for me to read that, didn't you? To Ethan now, please.
No.
We're going to have to go to a commercial.
No, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. All right. We can do this.
That, my friends, is fart humor
Oh.
and guy humor, and it's awesome. Thank you, honey.
I love those news outtakes, those
Yeah, I
news
do too.
bloopers and stuff. They're some of the funniest.
There. All right, there you go. That's today's podcast. Thank you to Kim and
Patty
and Zen Realty. Here, let me put Patty.
Zen Partners. They're
Zen
with
Partners.
Key Realty, but they're
Okay, that's it.
they partnered up and
There it
they
is.
go by because it's Zaraki and Henry's. It's like a Brangelina or what is it?
Brangelina.
Benifer. Or,
Yeah, whatever.
It's like Zen.
Back in the day.
Leave the stress to Zen.
Yeah, I like it. They're good humans too, which I really dig. Thank you to everybody that Laura just jumped on. Thank you, Laura. Or no, actually, she'd been on. Or no, maybe not. Anyway, share it if you care. It's great. Keep your negative comments, Donna, to yourself. Friday, we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl, and it's going to be. I don't know if you're going to be part of it or not.
I mean,
This was kind of your
Yeah.
idea, and like I'm going to bring fan club card. Rick is going to be in studio here, I believe, and we're going to be on it. I'm trying to. I just reached out to a buddy of mine in Louisiana, New Orleans, where he lives, where we used to live,
who dat?
and I'm trying to get him on to join us, because he's a nut and he's very talented and he's funny, and I'm hoping that he can help us out on Friday. That could be really special. He's a blues man, and I'm gonna see if he can fire his guitar up and
As chill, laid back as anyone, but
and he sounds like he just got off the bayou. I mean, he's got that great accent.
Yeah.
And he's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Anywho, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. That could be on Friday.
and the commercials. I've seen some of the commercials, and they're
Yeah.
brilliant. I don't know much about the halftime show, but
It's
Lauren Daigle's doing the pre-show. Lauren Daigle, one of your favorites.
oh, I love her.
Yeah.
She's so good. Christian singer. Look her up.
Yep.
All right, there you go, people. That's it. Thank you. Share it if you care, and we'll see you on